Today I'll be introducing Google Whisk, an experimental tool from Google that's available in their lab. This generative AI tool lets us create images from other images using simple prompts without needing extremely lengthy text instructions. We can upload different images to provide context to the AI about what we want to generate, such as a subject, scene, and style. This tool called Whisk uses the Gemini model to analyze our uploaded images, create brief descriptions of what it sees, and send them to Image 3, Google's most powerful current image generation model. So first, let's learn how to access it. What we'll do is open a new window and search for Whisk. This is what we'll be looking for. We'll go to the Google Labs section and enter through the first search result. As you can see, now we're told that the content couldn't be found at that moment, so we'll click on Browse the Gallery. It will ask us to log in this case. I'm already logged in, and we'll click to enter the tool. And right here, we're already inside the tool. Now let's start by understanding a bit how the Whisk interface works. It's actually quite simple. As you can see on screen right now, we have 3 sections up here, but we're going to go for this yellow button that catches your attention, which says Add Images. Here, as you can see, we can add what I mentioned, a subject, a scene, and a style. If we click this wavy button here, it randomly selects a subject or several subjects for us. For example, let's assume that our subject will be this older man. Now for the scene, more of the same. We can randomly select a scene, or we can also add one ourselves. We can add it in 2 ways, either through pen, where we describe the scene, or we can use an image as a reference. So right now we have this man, who is the one we've selected. We're going to select this scene as well. Also, as we can see, if we interact with the man and click add or edit changes, we can see what it tells us. An older man with a smile, greyish hair, and other details. We could describe our changes here. In this case, I've put red suit just to see what it does. And here it has generated 2 additional images of the man in the history. So, if we close with this selected image, we'll effectively proceed with this new image we've generated, okay? And if not, we can go back to the previous one without any problem. Finally, let's select a style. Here, basically, we'll select how we want our image to appear from a general perspective, whether as a sticker-like style or more of a photography style. Honestly, generating random styles is complicated, and it's better to use a reference image directly, especially when looking for something specific, right? Excuse the redundancy, but for example, I'll ask it to consider these 3 styles I really like and first create an anime style image for me. As you can see, I can hit send directly without even writing any prompt, though you could also describe the general idea based on all this. I haven't specified where to place Grandpa yet, inside the house or elsewhere. We have other options here, okay? One option is randomness, which lets us create our own prompt without needing these reference images. We also have the ability to change the aspect ratio, right? We've made these horizontally, but we could have easily made them square instead. So let's change the style, okay? We've seen that the style has worked quite well. As you can see, we can add and include more details. For example, I'll request something simple, to build a bridge. I'm keeping it simple, not specifying where. I just ask, and as you can see, it takes both images and generates a bridge. Let's see how it turns out. It maintains our selected one aspect ratio, and creates a bridge between the 2 islands. Great, let's generate another scenario. I should mention that the scenarios are repetitive. Let's delete this style and select this more voxel-like style. Let's also change the character and select this girl, okay? We'll generate this girl in a pink meadow with a 16:9 aspect ratio to see the style better. Let's hit generate, and I'll also take the opportunity to generate with the other style right away. I want to check if there's any generation limit. Right now, it seems the maximum is 6 generations at once, 6 simultaneous generations. Well, I won't lie, the result is going to be quite frustrating. It's really frustrating. This result is extremely well done. Obviously, some things are missing. Here, for example, we can see some black dots are missing. This flower doesn't really match with all the others. Unfortunately, we can't select the specific area where we want to apply details. It's still in experimental access, but we can already see we have something of great quality. In fact, if I save this image now and check the properties, we see it's 1408 by 768. It's far from HD. We have this other image that also, more of the same, has been generated superbly. And here are these images with that more realistic filter. Clearly, we've made it very difficult because, as you can see, the scene isn't very realistic, right? The scene doesn't have a realistic style and neither does the character, but this is the image it generated for us. I checked the properties and it has the same dimensions and quality. So now we have the option to animate, okay? As you can see, within the image sections, we have the ability to add details. For example, I'll ask for pink meteorites in the sky. Let's see what it does. As you can see, it always generates two instances of the same image, and there we have two new results, okay? We have this first one and this second one. The truth is that these modifications remind me a lot of Nano Banana, meaning it modifies what you asked for and keeps everything else intact. So let's select this image. As you can see, we can adjust it, describe changes, and we're in refine mode. Let's ask for another change. The change I just requested is to add blue rabbits jumping. Obviously, these changes aren't very precise. If you want to learn more about prompting and teaching AI to generate images, there's a free ebook in the description about generating images with Nano Banana and Match 1.5, which can definitely be applied here too, okay? So anyway, it applied the change once more. It's pretty much the same. We have the get button, share button, and so on, and we have the animate button. Let's animate this one, which I think turned out better. So it asks us, what do you want to see? As you can see here, it shows I have two generations. Generate more videos with the Google AI Pro plan. It says more complete access to video creation from images with VO3 and offers 200 monthly AI credits for Flow and Whisk. And here I've asked it to create a video of meteorites falling from the sky onto the Prado Museum. It's generating the image and video now. As you can see, it's at 10%. Let's wait. I should mention that video mode now lets you generate 8-second videos with audio using the VO3 model in fast mode, which is true. While Whisk focuses more on visual exploration and image remixing, which is what we're seeing here, quickly generating images. Flow, the tool we saw in Google One plans, is specifically focused on image generation. Alright, so we have the generated video. I don't know what to expect. It's 8 seconds long, which is typical for these kinds of videos. I can already see that the quality isn't very high. Let me check. It says animated GIF at 270p. Okay, we can see that we have 270 pixels. Looking at the details, if I save the video, it's 1280 x 720 quality with 4000 byte rate. Not bad. It has 48K audio. So we're talking about YouTube supporting quality of 15,000 for HD. This is about a third of that, right? If you go up to higher qualities, it supports more kilobytes. We're a bit limited with 24 frames per second, so it won't be the smoothest video, but let's see the result by hitting play. We have the effects there, and I was quite surprised, I have to say. The first sound effect is completely off, but that last explosion one, I think the explosion is pretty cool, right? And now, basically, if we go back to the initial section, we have the option to view our videos, to see our images, to watch our videos. Look, as you can see, if we put it in our video in a smaller size, you still get great quality. Right now, it looks super good now in this smaller format. And honestly, the 24 frames per second doesn't look bad at all. And then we have the favorites section. But lastly, as a final challenge, I'd like to generate an image using my own subject, scene, and style to see if it's really as good as they're teaching us. With your own subject, we're entering customization territory where the model won't be as well trained as with their examples. So let's test it out. A character from the cyberpunk anime, right? I sent it in a more sketch-like style first, then generated an image within the actual anime style, right? And here we have the definition and analysis that Gemini provides us. Obviously, if we wanted truly professional results, we'd need to carefully review this definition, but for now, let's trust their promise that we won't have to do much work, okay? Now we need to choose the scene. For the scene, I'd prefer one without bugs, since they give us reference scenes without any bugs, but a scene could be a fight against an enemy, which is what I wanted to include. But then we're dealing with multiple subjects, so what do we do? Do we put it under subject or under scene? Well, I kept it simple and used a World of Warcraft city as my scene, okay? Kind of mystical style, don't ask me which city it is. And finally, let's define the style. The style will be the most difficult part to make it understand. But I think we're going to look for, well, I found an image of the N Seoul Tower. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly, it's from South Korea. I chose this image because it has a lens that distorts the image a bit. Now, when I analyze the image, I'll show it to you. By the way, I noticed it has another limitation. It doesn't let you upload images larger than 20 megabytes, okay? So here we have the image. As I mentioned, a lens distorts everything slightly. You can easily identify it by the tower, which appears bent. In real life, obviously it's not bent. So let's see what it can generate for me, okay? I'm going to use 16:9 ratio. I'll have it generate 6 images, and we'll see what it does with these 3 elements. Something might come out of this. Well, 4 elements actually. This could turn out really interesting or be a disappointment with this tool. We'll see now. Okay, we're seeing first of all that it has generated 2 images in all of them. I understand that's because I gave it 2 subjects. Let's remove one, okay? It generated the images super fast, so I'm going to ask it to make 6 images for me. Now it's made. There they are, 6 images. But let's analyze these images a bit. We can see that, well, the trees, at least in the more mystical area, have been maintained. Here it has even put dragons in the background, okay? And now that it has only one character, right? Let's see how it has generated it for us. It's true that when you look at this character here, right? The cyberpunk character and what it generates, honestly, they don't look very similar. That's the reality. I mean, it looks nothing like it, nothing at all, okay? Let's ignore that. I also think the landscape, the scene was pretty well done, right? Ignoring that this is clearly a merchant zone, we have loot symbols here for trading items. The path has maintained them, and considering we've moved from a third person or more top-down view, we might call it isometric, though it's not exactly that, but it has been a more isometric view, and now we're seeing a closer shot. This looks really good. I mean, this image really convinces me. And the style is what has completely ignored our instructions. That's the reality, because this is a photorealistic image. The lens didn't capture it. The lens didn't capture it. I'm going to try applying another style from its options to see if it works, which will be the realistic one from before, okay? We're going to ask it to generate 6 images and request the same thing, but in anime style. Since this character is already in anime mode, I'll see if asking for a similar style allows it to maintain consistency or not. Okay, we're seeing that in realistic mode. Not much is happening, right? I mean, it's not about my image either. It's that I'm asking for something complicated, I have to admit. I'm asking for something super mystical, super fantastical, a character that looks almost hand-drawn on paper. Let's try the anime style now. I have it selected and this should work best, okay? In the end, we're completely adapting to what we have, right? Well, it's not anime, but anyway, and this is the result. Well, I could tell you that as a conclusion, this has been the best image of all without a doubt. And if what you're looking for is perfection or similarity to what you're asking for, wow, huh? Look, it nailed the anime style. I mean, it's identical, but not at all. Look, for some reason here, they've decided we'd have the golden hour like these stage spotlights, but this defines the style, not the scene. The lighting depends on the scene, right? So let's try and use this image, which turned out the best. As you've seen, we've generated tons of images super quickly, and now we'll click animate and ask it to make. Okay, I told it. The main character uses the energy ball in his hand to destroy the portal or entrance. Let's click send. I'd also like to click open, okay? Tell it to open the portal for me. I can't generate more than one video at once, so let's wait. Well, I was going to animate the same video multiple times, but seems I've hit the limit. And this is the video it made for me, okay? Let's see it. I'll play it and it makes the energy ball, destroys my entrance, okay? Well, 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 well. I have to say I'm surprised. We can hear the sound. I like the music. I like the sound. And yes, the explosion does distort the sound a bit, but I really like how the explosion looks and everything. I think it's not bad at all, right? That camera focus and boom, not bad, super interesting, super interesting. Honestly, with these 2 videos, I wish there was a mute button really. But anyway, with these 2 videos, we get a glimpse of what this tool can be. So not bad at all. All right, let's talk a bit about the strengths that Whisk can really have. Well, one of the biggest advantages is that it allows using images as reference, which also saves us, right, from that constant need to creating the perfect prompt. Those of us who have designed many prompts know that crafting a perfect prompt can take considerable time and multiple attempts. In contrast, this makes producing a good video much easier. Plus, I think one of its strengths is that it's designed for quick iteration. It's built to produce videos rapidly. The images generate quite quickly. Videos also take very little time. Considering it's free, and I'm using the free tier, not paying anything, the images generate very quickly, making it an accelerated way to produce tons of images. Additionally, It lets us generate videos with the VO3 fast model, which is excellent. Another important positive feature is that we can easily edit images, and if we don't like the result, revert to the previous version without any complications. As for limitations, like I mentioned earlier, we lack that pixel-perfect editing capability where we can define exactly what we want, right? If I want to modify something specific, like a flower, I can't precisely indicate that. It's very complicated. Though Google has clarified this tool is meant for visual exploration rather than perfect production. Another limitation I see is that it doesn't create exact replicas of the images you upload, which means the generated subject might show some differences. It's completely normal since we upload the subject and then the subject changes. For example, here I have silver hair, but in some images it looks almost blonde. The skin appears quite metallic here. In this second image, I deliberately made it more metallic, but in the first one, it's flesh-colored. So we can see clear alterations, even in the costume itself, depending on the image. Here it shows me without straps, and here it shows me with straps, and here without for some reason, even though the reference image has them. And the problem with not being able to make precise adjustments is that when you request a tiny change, it might regenerate the entire scene, okay? Which is a shame because you have an almost perfect scene that just needs a small modification. But unfortunately, because of that limitation, you end up losing or ruining the whole process. So it's complicated to find a perfect result if you're very professional, right? Also, obviously, like all AI models, there can be hallucinations or inconsistencies, like a hand having 5 fingers, 6, 7, or any typical error. For example, here this image has 4 fingers, right? This image has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where is the pinky? In this other image, why are all the flowers facing the girl while some are looking upward or even almost backward? It doesn't make much sense. Well, these are obviously inconsistencies that artificial intelligence has in almost all models. It also has quite a few access restrictions. Even though they've expanded to over 100 countries, it was initially an exclusive experiment for the United States, and there might still be some countries left out. It also has the cost of AI credits, which has been criticized, since with more professional environments like Google Workspace, it's true that it uses up your credits, and when you run out, you can't generate more, or at least not with the quality you'd want. Obviously, you can't really complain, right? But I understand why people want an unlimited model, which is ultimately what they're selling. They're marketing a model that lets you quickly generate many images to see illustrations. So they should allow unlimited generation, or at least much more than what they're currently offering. In conclusion, I think it's a very interesting tool. In the future, I'll share ways to enhance this tool, as there are methods to automate it and produce dozens of images in seconds. So with that, I'll say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this test of Google Whisk. Let me know what you think, if you like it, and if you check it out. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in future videos. Thanks for your support, and remember that in the description you'll find the free ebook on generating images and learning about artificial intelligence. See you later. Hey, these last images you generated aren't bad, huh? Much better.